Hey guys, this is Carwick Wormblade. I have Roslyn with me today,
Sup?
and I'm actually going to give you guys a small tutorial about PvP. I'm going to go through different gear sets so you guys know what type of gear you can and can't use. For people that don't have crowns, for people that have crowns, for people that, you only have gold. Okay, I am going to show you guys basically gear and deck setup. Now, there's different types of gear you can get for different types of people. Alright, for the crafters, you want to get the Hood of the Desert Rains, which is for Storm. This is a Storm guide only. Now, if you can't craft, the next best thing I would say is the Hades Black Rain Helm. But if you don't want to farm for that, there's two alternative hats you can buy. You can buy the Eureka's Kulf or the Thunderstruck hat. That one gives you critical, and that one gives you the damage and accuracy. It also gives you storm resist. Now moving on to the robes. We have the Black Thunder robe, which obviously is a main choice. Now, if you don't, like I said, if you don't want to farm for it, or if you still have Waterworks gear works as well. Moving on to the gliders. These are crafted boots. These are from the New World. You don't have to craft these. They're fairly decent. I mean, crafted boots. This is the robe. Oh, I got it. Anyways, back to the robes. You can craft the gliding starfall armor, or you can pick up like the pandemonium plate mail, which you can actually buy in the bazaar. These are items I'm showing you can buy in the bazaar, or you can craft, or you can farm for. Now, if we move on, you have the heavy rain slippers, which you can buy with crowns. You want that because of the extra critical. Now, like I said, I'm going to be going through this. I'm going to recommend Black Thunder Walkers for the people that farm. The Eureka Wraps I would recommend for the people that just want to spend gold. Now, if you want to craft, I would say get the Frost Covered Manus boost. First off, you have the critical block, and it's the extra damage. It gives you 25 to damage. Now, for some of you that want to go like with Storm Resist, there's the Lizard House Warrior boots, which give you the 28 to Storm Resist. The Pandemonium Plate Mail that I showed you gives you 30 to resist, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it gives you 30 to resist. That's 58 to storm resist already. Couple that with the Eureka's Calf, that's another 24. So you're looking at about a 70 to 80 resist to storm. Just to storm, though. Now, you're going to have to worry about all the other schools, but you won't have to worry about storm. Now, you can move on. We're going to move on to the wands. Like, we have the Hades Staff of Tempest, which is going to probably be the best staff for most people. You will notice that I have the Sith Staff as one of my backup staffs. Now, if you want a staff, you can always get a staff in the bazaar that has pretty good critical or pretty good critical block, or has both. You'll never get something that has better or worse. You'll always get something that's pretty similar. We're going to move on to the blades, like the Blade of the Felled Titan. The Blade of the Felled Titan you're going to have to farm for. Most storms will probably farm for it. Others probably will just stay with the other item, which you usually get, which is the 66 ring, or the 66 athame, or the 76 athame, which are usually drops. Or you can even go farm for the Heart Steel. The Heart Steel is a nice one because it gives you 5 to resist, and to get that, you can go farm Lord Nightshade in Wizard City. So that's not really that hard. Going on to the amulets, I use the Horizons of Underworld Charm, or the Collar of the Beguiled. Now, you can use like the Collar of the Stormhound, which you can buy. You can use the Jewel of Aperi, which you can buy. You can use the Jewel of Faint, or even the Valkyrie Star Necklace. And the reason I say the Valkyrie Star Necklace, because it gives no health, is because it gives you a blade and it gives you that tower shield, and that is always a plus. If you happen to pick that up, that's a bonus. We're gonna go on to the rings. Now, people say the Alpha and Omega ring is the best ring. Okay, for Storm, you want the Storm Owl's Terror ring, or you want the new 95 ring or 96 ring. I can't think of what it is, but it's the one that gives you 13 to damage. If you can't get that, you can get the Alpha and Omega, or you can get the Storm Owl's Terror ring. But if you want to craft, you can get the Signet of the Sand Devil, which gives you an additional 17 resist to Storm, which almost makes you immune if you wear that Storm gear that I have, that I discussed earlier. Now my pet has critical, it has damage, and it has healing current. Now, you don't have to use this kind of pet. You can use a double resist pet. You can use a pet with healing abilities. All you need is something that can heal. Now we're going to move on to the deck setup. Recording. Alright, and now I'm here. I'm joined with Chris, and Chris isn't on call, but Rosalind's on call with us still.
Hey.
Alright, I'm going to go through the first deck setup. This is the first deck setup. I have 3 Colossals. I have 2 Sharpens. I got double Galvanic Shields. I got double... Now, you don't have to use Mass Prisms, but I carry Mass Prisms. You can use the regular Prisms, the single ones, because they cost no pips. You always want to have at least a Storm Lord and a Storm Owl, and a couple Tempests, as well as a few Storm Blades with the Reshuffle and with Shadow Strike. Now, this is a short and sweet deck. There's nothing on my sideboard, because this deck is made for quick kills. It's fast. It's for fast matches. You want to get everything up and everything out as fast as possible. Alright, now here's another deck setup. I run 3 Colossals, 2 Vengeances. I run Insane Bolt. Now this deck is an Insane Bolt deck only. I will explain. You only enchant the Insane Bolts. You have Kraken, you have a few Leviathans, you have a Lightning Bats, you have Storm Shark, as well as a couple Wild Bolts. Now the reason I say that this is a spammer's deck, but it also does some beatdown. Now if you don't want to go with Insane Bolt, I have another deck setup that I'll show you. But this deck is particular for Insane Bolt reasons only. Now if you wanna, this is the 50-50, where you're either gonna die or somebody else is gonna die. So that's what this deck is built for. You can try it without the Insane Bolts. The deck still works, but not as properly as it should. Alright, and this is another one of my deck setups for Storm. I run Colossals, 4 of them, a couple Gargantuans, a couple Vengeance, a couple Krakens, a few Lightning Bats, a Stormzilla, a couple Tempests, a Triton, and a few Wild Bolts. Now this deck is particularly for spamming. You'll run into a lot of people that do Storm spamming. And while this is basically what this deck is made for, it is made for Storm spamming. It is Storm spam, quick death, good game, move to the next match. Now it doesn't always work, but Storm spamming is, and people will call you names and they will say things to you because, yes, you are spamming, and it is a spamming deck. I have been called many names using this deck in the past, but I'm going to let you know. So you just let the names go in one ear and out the other. Don't worry, Storm spamming is a strategy. Alright folks, well that was a quick tutorial of my Storm Exalted PvP decks. I hope it helps you guys. The gear, like I said, most of the gear can be bought from the bazaar if need be. The rest of the gear can be farmed for. You can still even use Waterworks gear. And just to continue with this, just so you guys know, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Rate, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Carwick Wormblade with Rosalind and with Chris, signing off.
Bye.
See you, YouTube.